Driving his minivan is the only way ABDULMUTALEB earns a living. He says taking passengers around used to bring in enough money, but with the fuel crisis in Sudan, that's no longer the case.
We can stay from the day before till the next day waiting for fuel. With the fuel shortage, sometimes you have to look for fuel in the black market for a higher price. And even then, you can't find fuel easily unless you know someone who can direct you to find around 2 gallons just so you can drop people off.
Fuel isn't the only thing scarce in Sudan. There's a shortage of money too. Over the past few months, the Sudanese have been forced to line up in front of ATM machines for what little cash is made available. Queues also appeared in front of bakeries, as the shortage of hard currency meant less wheat to make bread. The proposal by the government to lift subsidies on wheat and fuel prompted protests in many parts of the country last week. As a result, curfews and emergency rule were imposed in at least 5 cities, and schools and universities have been shut across the country to prevent large gatherings of people. Fuel and bread shortages may have triggered protests across the country, but other factors are helping to keep them going. People seem to be frustrated not just by the economic crisis, but by the way the country is being run, and they want to see change. Demonstrators have been met with live fire and tear gas by police, causing a number of deaths and injuries. But the protests continue, along with the demand that President Omar al-Bashir, who has ruled for almost 30 years, to resign. Some analysts say it's time for others to take the lead.
This crisis can't be left to the government to solve alone. Other political parties need to come in and join hands to find a way out of the crisis. The crisis is no longer an economy crisis, it's now a political crisis, and people are blaming the government for it.
Sudan appears to be at a standstill, with the people on one side and the government and its policy on the other. Hiba, Al Jazeera, Khartoum.